America is trying to derail Canadian EV plans. It's one thing to sabotage your own technological progress. It's another thing entirely to cross borders and try to kneecap someone else's climate goals too. Canada wants electric vehicles to make up 20% of new car sales by next year, or have automakers purchase regulatory credits if they don't meet those sales targets. But as the USA negotiates a new trade deal with Canada, American automakers, backed by the Trump administration, are reportedly pressuring the country to walk back its EV ambitions. Welcome to the Friday edition of Critical Materials, your daily roundup of news and events shaping the future of cars and technology. New threat emerges for EV makers in Canada. As Canada negotiates a new trade deal with the Trump administration, one key item is reportedly on the table: scrapping the country's electric vehicle mandate. Now that the EV tax credit has an expiration date in the USA, and stricter emissions pushing for electric growth are also in the crosshairs, it's an open question as to whether Canada can keep similar goals. After all, Canada is both a major exporter of vehicles to the USA and importer of cars from its neighbor to the south. But for a few exceptions here and there, the two nations' auto markets are largely in sync. Now, many groups want Canada to change course too, as the Wall Street Journal reports. Canadian regulations dictate that all new vehicles sold in 2035 be powered by electricity, with an initial goal of 20% of sales by the end of 2026. Canadian auto lobby groups have pushed back, calling for that mandate to be scrapped amid poor EV sales, and the White House fueled disruption to the auto manufacturing business. The Liberal government, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, can do both: be very pragmatic to make sure we can help the sector, and at the same time, help with the adoption of new vehicles, Joly said. We are having many conversations and more to say in the coming weeks, the minister added. She didn't elaborate on the focus of those talks. The Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association has said the 2035 mandate needs to be scrapped given present conditions. Brian Kingston, the association's chief executive, said this week in the Financial Post that the 2035 EV sales mandate prioritizes unrealistic EV sales targets that benefit companies with no Canadian footprint over the development of our domestic EV industry. Here is more from Politico this morning. The auto sector is saying, "We're going to stay in Canada. You must get rid of this EV mandate." A Canadian government official with direct knowledge of Canada's negotiating strategy told Politico. At the bargaining table with Trump, there is concern that Canada's auto sector is out of sync with the USA, said the official with knowledge of the negotiations. "We do not have a trade problem. We have a policy alignment problem from the perspective of the Trump administration," said the official. After recently scrapping a controversial digital services tax that would have hit U.S. tech giants such as Google, Amazon, and Netflix, Carney's government is now under pressure from automakers and Trump himself to ditch Canada's EV mandate. Unlike the USA, Canada actually seems to be taking climate change more seriously. Even if it misses next year's 20% EV sales target, its framework is designed to keep pushing electrification forward. But that progress is at risk. Sure, the likes of General Motors and Ford have reason to oppose buying regulatory credits from Tesla. It eats into their margins and affects their bottom line. But without mandates and penalties, there's little incentive for legacy automakers to prioritize EVs at all. History has proven time and again that government-led efforts do indeed result in cleaner air and better transportation. Instead, the USA is trying to export its anti-EV politics onto other nations. Source: reposted and summarized from Suvrat Kothari at InsideEVS.